Hey, Katara, I have your two quiz attempts here, so I'm going to take a few moments and go over some of the questions that you missed, and then I'll put another attempt on the quiz. So we look at question 3. It says, what value of x is in the solution set of the inequality? You actually can solve these problems one of two ways. You could actually solve the inequality itself and see which of these numbers are true, or you could just plug the different values in. In my opinion, that takes a little bit longer, but I'll just show you what it looks like. Since we know that negative 10 is not an answer, that's the one I'll do. So if I'm plugging in negative 10, we have 2 times 3 times negative 10 minus 1, and that's greater than or equal to 4 times negative 10 minus 6. So we just have to kind of compute this. So we start inside the parentheses. 3 times negative 10 is negative 30. Negative 30 minus 1 is negative 31. Times 2 is negative 62. Then on the right-hand side, we have 4 times negative 10, that's negative 40, minus 6 is negative 46. So we get this statement that reads negative 62 is greater than or equal to negative 46. That is not true. So that means that negative 10 is not in the solution set. And you can see that it wasn't anyway because it wasn't the answer. So now let's actually take this inequality and solve it, because in my opinion, that's the faster way to figure out these answers. I don't want to plug in all 4 of those numbers, especially since in this case, it's the very last one that works. So you would have to do all 4 of them. First, we need to distribute 6x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 4x minus 6. We're going to get our variable on the same side. So we move things to the other side by doing the opposite. We're going to subtract 4 because it's a positive. We're going to subtract 4x over here. 6x minus 4x is 2x. Remember, you can only subtract like terms or combine like terms. And we're going to bring down a negative 6. Now we're going to add 2 to both sides. We get 2x is greater than or equal to negative 4. We're going to divide both sides by 2 is our last step. And we get that x is greater than or equal to negative 2. So we are looking through these numbers. We are looking for anything that is greater than or equal to negative 2. Negative 10 is less, negative 5 is less, negative 3 is less. So that leaves negative 1 as the answer. Question 4, same type of question. Now this one, the first answer happened to work, but we didn't know that going into it. So again, I'm just going to solve these, but this is probably better practice for you anyway. 9 times 2x is 18x. 9 times 1 is 9, and that's less than 9x minus 18. We're going to get our variables on the same side again. First, I like to move the smaller variable to the other side so that I don't have negatives. 18 minus 9 is 9x. Bring down my plus 9, bring down my inequality, bring down the minus 18. Don't forget that sign. Now we're going to subtract 9 from both sides. Again, we're doing the opposite. 9x is less than negative 27, dividing both sides by 9, and we get that x is less than negative 3. So we are looking for any answers that are less than negative 3. Negative 3 won't work because it's not less than negative 3, it's equal to it. The only number here that's less than negative 3 is negative 4. This question asks us to actually solve. We're going to start by distributing. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2x is 4x. That's greater than or equal to 5x plus 5. Really, we solve inequalities exactly how we solve equations. Our answer is just an inequality versus an equals sign or statement. You get a lot of answers when you solve inequalities versus solving equations. You usually just get one. So subtracting 4x from both sides, again, that's the opposite of adding. We have 8 greater than or equal to x plus 5. 4 minus 5 is 1. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides, and I get 3 is greater than or equal to x. I'm going to rewrite this because this gets a little confusing. When you rewrite an inequality to put the variable on the left, you do flip your symbol. So I get x is less than or equal to 3. So that's this option here. What value is in the solution set? Again, I'm just going to keep solving here. I just have to get my x's on the same side. I don't have to distribute, so I'm going to add 5x to both sides. Careful here, that is a negative 15. and we're going to get 10 plus 25x. Subtracting 10 from both sides, negative 25 is greater than 25x. Dividing both sides by 25, we get negative 1 is greater than x. And now I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to say x is less than negative 1. So again, we just want the values of x that are less than negative 1. And the only one here that's less than negative 1 is negative 2. Okay, sorry, our kids were coming in to start the school day, so I had to pause this for a little bit. Okay, the last one from this quiz, again, it's another which value is in the solution set. So we're going to go ahead and solve this inequality. We're going to distribute 3x minus 12 is greater than or equal to 5x plus 2. We've got variables on both sides. Again, I like to move the smaller variable. I don't like negatives in front of my variables because then when you divide, you have to flip the symbol. Students forget that a lot. So bring down the negative 12. 5x minus 3x is 2x plus 2. Subtracting 2 from both sides, we get negative 14 is greater than or equal to 2x. We divide both sides by 2. We get negative 7 is greater than or equal to x. Again, I like to rewrite that. Students have trouble reading that when it's backwards, I guess, or when the variable's not on the left. But this says that x is less than or equal to negative 7. So we're talking about all the values that are less than or equal to negative 7. Those are the ones that will solve the inequality and give us a true statement. So the only value here that's less than or equal to negative 7 is negative 10. And now I'm going to try to flip quizzes. Let's look at your other attempt, this one. Okay, I think that's the first one I did. Okay, here's a number line one. This says which number line represents the solution set for the inequality. So we have to solve this first. You can't, just guess at this, or there's nothing really to plug in. I guess you could plug in 3, or negative 3 to kind of narrow it down to the top 2 or the bottom 2. But let's go ahead. We need to distribute twice. So both sides we have to distribute. 3 times 8, we get 24 minus 4x is less than 6x minus 30. I'm going to add 4x to both sides. We get 24 is less than 10x minus 30. We're going to add 30 to both sides. Oh, goodness, look at me not distributing correctly. Hang on. Thinking this isn't going to give me a good answer. Got to go all the way back to here. Look what I did. I went to distribute. I did 3 times 8. I got 24. I did not do 3 times 4 to get 12. I'm still going to add 12x to both sides since the 12 is negative. That's going to give me 18x minus 30. Adding 30 to both sides, we're going to get 54 is less than 18x. Dividing both sides by 18, and we get that 3 is less than x, but I don't like to leave it like this. Students will always graph these backwards. It is x is greater than 3. So when we look at the number line, first we want our number of focus to be 3, so that rules out these two. And we're looking for the number line that has an open circle at 3 because it's just greater than, so we're not including 3. And we want everything that's shaded to the right. Again, we are looking for the values that are greater than 3. So that's this second option here. Another one with a number line, so we're going to go ahead and solve the inequality. Looks like we have distributive property, so the left side isn't going to change. Now we're going to distribute the 6 through 6x minus 12, and then we have this plus 8. I need to combine my like terms first before I get my variable on the same side. So negative 12 plus 8 is negative 4. We're going to subtract 2x from both sides. we get negative 6 is greater than or equal to 4x minus 4. Now we're going to add 4 to both sides. This is going to give me negative 2 is greater than or equal to 4x. We're going to divide both sides by 4. Negative 2 divided by 4 is negative 1/2. We get negative 1/2 is greater than or equal to x. Again, I'm going to rewrite it. X is less than or equal to negative 1/2. I hope it makes sense when you flip around the inequality to put the x on the left-hand side, which is actually a rule in my classroom. My students have to do that or they will graph it wrong. And actually, that looks like that's what you've done on both of the last problems is you had the right number, you just went the wrong way on the graph. This says all values that are less than or equal to negative 1/2. So now we should have a closed circle at negative 1/2. Notice this one's filled in. It's not open or hollow. That means we're including negative 1/2 and we need everything that's less than that. Less than is to the left. So it's this third option here. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the last one. What value of x is in the solution set? Oh, we did this one on your first quiz. Okay, so I hope that helps clear things up. Again, solving inequalities is really just like solving equations. The way you distribute, the way you combine like terms, the way you move things from the left side to the right side or the right side to the left side. Got to get that variable by itself in order to solve them. So hopefully this was helpful. I will go ahead and add another retake on the quiz and you can let me know if you need anything else. Have a good day.